All right, continuing on with the second part of the review, we have right here, we're going to talk about the equations of lines. Okay, so it says parallel lines have slopes that are equal, okay, or the same. If two lines are perpendicular, their slopes are opposite reciprocals. Okay, so an example of that would be, let's say the original slope was 1/2. Okay, the opposite reciprocal of that, opposite means the opposite sign, so negative. And then the reciprocals, you take the number here and then you flip it. And since it's a fraction, you just flip it there, but really you would write that as -2. Okay, it says use the following information to answer questions 51 through 56. Line M contains point A is at 4, -3, and B is at -2, 3. And so we need to find the slope of the line that's going to be parallel to M. So parallel means it's going to have the same slope. So let's calculate the slope here. Remember, it's y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. So I'm just going to label those here. So y2 is 3, okay, minus y1, which is -3, over x2, which is -2, minus x1, which is 4. Okay, so we have 3 minus a -3. Well, that really turns into 3 plus 3, so that's 6. And then a -2 minus 4 is going to be a -6. And so 6 over 6 is just 1, and a positive divided by negative is a negative. So slope is -1. So a line that's going to be parallel to it is also going to have a slope of -1. Okay, now it says find the slope of the line perpendicular to M. Okay, so -1 can really be written as -1 over 1. So we want the opposite reciprocal of this. So the opposite of it is going to be positive. And 1 over 1, if you flip it, you still get 1 over 1, which is just 1. So a perpendicular line to it would be 1. All right, the equation of the line in point slope form is, okay, so all we have to do is take our original slope here, and we want to write the equation of our line. And so all you need is a point and a slope. So we've already figured out the slope, and we're just using the regular, the original one that we found, okay? So we have y, and remember point slope is y minus y1 is m times x minus x1. Okay, and you could use point A or point B, it doesn't matter because they're both on the line, so they're both gonna, you know, the equation you write for them is gonna be the same. So I'll just do point A. So we have y minus, and then what is our y? -3. And then m, our slope is -1, okay, times x minus, and we have 4. Okay, so this is going to end up becoming, let me erase this, give us some more room. Okay, this is going to end up becoming here y plus 3 equals to -1 times x minus 4. And there you go. Okay, and then it says find the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Okay, well, we will just take this here and we'll solve it for y, because that's going to give us, and simplify the right-hand side, because that's going to give us it in slope-intercept form, because that's y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we have y plus 3 is equal to, and now I'm just going to distribute here. So I'm going to multiply -1 into both of these things. So we have -x and then plus 4. Okay, minus 3. So we've got y equals -x plus 1. Okay, next one here. It says the equation of the line in standard form is, okay, well, standard form is ax plus by is equal to c. Okay, just a and b, those are the numbers in front of your x and y terms, okay, the coefficients. And c is the constant. So we have we have our slope intercept. Basically, you want to get your x and your y on the same side. So if I want to move this negative x over here, it's going to become positive x. So we have x plus y equals 1. And that's it. So just get your x and your y on the same side, and any plane numbers, constants, get them on the right-hand side. Okay, the x-intercept is blank, and the y-intercept is blank. Okay, to find your x-intercept, you want to plug in y is equal to 0. Okay, and to find the y-intercept, you want to plug in x is equal to 0. Because the x-intercept, well, you're trying to find where it's going to cross the x-axis, so you don't want it to be anywhere above it, so that's why your y is 0. And then here, for the y-intercept, we want to know where it's going to cross the y-axis. So we don't want it to be anywhere left or right of the y-axis, and so that's where x is equal to 0. So you just plug it in. So I'm just going to plug it into this y equals here. So we want y equals 0. Okay, so we have 0 equals negative x plus 1. All right, just take this x over to the other sign, and so you get x is 1. So that point would be 1, 0. Because our y is 0, and we just solve for x, and it's 1. Okay, now the y-intercept, we're going to plug in x is 0 here. So you have y is equal to negative times 0 plus 1. So y is equal to 1. So our y-intercept is going to be at 0, 1. There you go. Okay, the equation of a line with y-intercept of 4 and parallel to 2x plus 3y equals 7 is blank. So to find this, we need to, we obviously want a line that's parallel, so we need to find the slope of it. Okay, and in order to find the slope, you have to put it into y equals mx plus b first. So we will have 3y is equal to negative 2x plus 7. Okay, and divide by 3. So y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus 7/3. All right, and so now they've already told us the new y-intercept we want, and now we have our slope because we want it to be parallel, so we want the same slope. So we have y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. And there you go. Okay, the equation of a line with a y-intercept of 4 and perpendicular to that same line. Okay, so the slope is negative 2/3. So if we want a perpendicular one, we have to do the opposite reciprocal, which would be 3/2. And again, we want our y-intercept of 4, so y equals 3/2x plus 4. All right, next thing here. It says the lengths of 3 sides are 4, 6, and 8. Can the sides form a triangle? So remember, you have to do your small plus your medium is greater than the long side. 8 is our long side, 4 is our small, and 6 is the medium. So we have 4 plus 6 is greater than 8. Well, 10 is greater than 8. This is true, so yes. Alrighty. If two sides of a triangle are 8 and 17, what is the possible range for the third side? Well, x will have to be between two things because we're getting a range. Okay, and the first thing is you have to subtract them. So we know like x has to be bigger than some number, and then it's got to be less than some number. So to find the bigger than, you subtract. So you do 17 minus 8, which would be 9. And then to find the bigger one, you have to add them. So 17 plus 8. Because when you're trying to find the bigger than, it's like the two that they give you turn into the small and the medium side. And you're trying to find the long one. Okay, so here we go. 17 plus 8 would be 25. So it has to be between 9 and 25. Okay, next part here says if, write the if-then conditional, converse, inverse, and contrapositive for the following statement. So the conditional is just if-then. So if it is Friday, we go to the movies. Okay, so we will go. Okay, we will go to the movies. So now we need the converse, okay? Converse, it's Q then P. So if we go to the movies, then it is Friday. Okay, so remember, because being Friday, that's your P. Going to the movies, that's your Q. All right, inverse is just negating. You don't change the order or anything like that. So if it is not Friday, then we will not go to the movies. Okay, and then the last one, the contrapositive. The contrapositive is, again, like combining the converse and the inverse. So you're negating it and you're switching it. So if we do not go to the movies, then it is not Friday. Okay, so there we go. All right, next part here. It says, are the following statements law of detachment, law of syllogism, or neither? Okay, so detachment, it's, remember you have the three statements. Number one is if P, then Q. Number two is solely P. Number three is solely Q. Okay, law of syllogism is where we get the P, the Q, and the R. So syllogism, it's P then Q, Q then R, therefore P then R. So it says if an animal is a dog, then it likes to run in the park. So P then Q. Fido likes to run in the park. Well, this matches with Q. Fido is a dog, that's P. So this is actually neither. Okay, it's trying to be law of detachment, but it's invalid because it goes in the wrong order. Okay, if it is the weekend, then I will hang out with my friends. If I hang out with my friends, then we will go bowling. If it is the weekend, then we will go bowling. P then Q, Q then R, P then R. Syllogism. Okay, if you pass tax, then you will go to college. Mario passed tax. Mario attends the University of Texas, which is a college, so this is detachment. Okay, next one. It says write the angles of triangle KLM in order from smallest to largest. So you have to remember your your smallest angle is across from your smallest side. Okay, and that applies with, largest angles across from largest side, medium is across from the medium. So we want the angles from smallest to largest. So let's find our smallest side. Okay, 43.4. Go across. Okay, so it's L. Medium side is this 51 here. So we have K. And then that leaves us with M. Okay, write the sides of triangle PIT in order from shortest to largest. So what we have to do, this is 90. That's 48. So do 180 minus 90, which is 90. Take away 48, which is going to give you 42. Okay, so we want the sides from shortest to largest. So find your smallest angle, 42. That's your shortest side, so PT. Medium side, that's 48, so PI. And then 90 is IT. Basically, anytime you have a right triangle, whatever side is across from that 90 is your longest side. Your hypotenuse is always the longest. All right, find the value of x. List the angles of triangle FRD in order from greatest to least. Okay, So we have to find x. They tell us here that the perimeter is 72. So if we add the three sides, it should equal up to 72. So 4x and 3x and 3x. So 3x and 3x is 6 plus 4. That's 10x. Okay, and then you have 18 plus 12. So that's 30. And then you take away 8. That's 22. And that's equal to 72. Okay, take away 22 from each side, so you get 10x is equal to 50. So x is equal to 5. Okay, and then now it says list the angles in order from greatest to least. Okay, well, you just plug in. Okay, 3 times 5, 15 plus 18, that's 33. 4 times 5 is 20, minus 8, that's 12. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 12, that's 27. Okay, so angles from greatest to least. So we need the biggest side, 33, go across. So angle R, medium side, F, and then the smallest side, D. Okay, it says find the value of x and list the sides of triangle DOG in order from least to greatest. All right, they've given us the three angles. We know that they had to add up to 180. So 3x, 2x, and 4x. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 4, so that's 9x. Okay, 20 and 15, that's 35. Plus 37, so 35 and 30, that's 65. Plus another 5, that's 70, so 72. That's equal to 180. Okay, take away 72. So you get 9x is equal to 108. Divide by 9. You get x is 12. And then now we have to put the sides in order from least to greatest. So we'll plug in here. 3 times 12 is 36 plus 20, so that's 56. 2 times 12 is 24 plus 37. That would be 61. And 4 times 12 is 48, plus 10 is 58, so 63. Okay, least to greatest. So find your smallest angle, and that's 56. Go across, so it's OG. Okay, medium angle, 61, go across, that's DG. And then that leaves us up here, DO. Okay. Next, it says use the diagram on the right to identify the requested segments. Identify a median. Okay, a median is just going to be a line segment that is splitting something in half and it starts at a vertex. So right here you cannot use SV because SV does not begin at a vertex. Okay, you have to use QT because it's beginning at this corner and it's going and it's cutting that side of this triangle in half over here. So QT. A perpendicular bisector, okay, that is SV because it is perpendicular to the side and it is bisecting it. So that's SV. An angle bisector, okay, you can clearly see which line is cutting the angles in half, and that would be RU. And then an altitude and triangle WPT. So WPT. Okay, we want an altitude here. The only requirement is that an altitude starts at a vertex and makes a right angle with one of those sides. So we actually have two of them. You can have WT or WP. So those are two altitudes. Now it says here in triangle ABC, DE is a perpendicular bisector of AC with D on AC. So this is a perpendicular bisector. AD is 2y plus 4, and CD is y plus 12. And the measure of angle EDC is 5 times x minus 12. Find the value of x and y and AC. Okay, first thing, EDC. EDC. This angle right here. So this is going to be equal to 90. So 5 times x minus 12 is equal to 90. Okay, what I will do on this one is I'm actually going to divide by 5. Okay, so I don't have to like get all messy with multiplying it in there. So you get x minus 12 is equal to 18. Add 12, and so you get x is 30. Okay, now for y, we know that these two pieces, AD and CD, they're equal to each other. So 2y plus 4 is equal to y plus 12. Take away y, so you get y is equal to, and take away 4, 8. So y is 8. And then now we need to find AC. So basically, I'm going to find out half of the line and then multiply it by 2 because we know it's being bisected. So I'll do 2 times 8 plus 4. So 16 plus 4, that's 20 times 2, and AC will be 40. Okay, it says DB and AE are medians. So that means that they're cutting their respective sides in half. BC is 6y plus 10. CE is 6x plus 12. And I missed here, AB is y squared plus 3y. And ED is 2x plus 60. Okay, we have to find x, y, and then the value of AC. Okay, since they're medians, we know that the pieces are equal. So y squared plus 3y is equal to 6y plus 10. Since we have the squared, we have to get the set equal to 0. So we have y squared, and then I'm moving everything from the right-hand side over. So I have 3y, and I'm going to take away 6y, so it's going to leave me with negative 3y, and then negative 10. That's equal to 0. Okay, so I have to think of two numbers that when I multiply them, I will get negative 10, but then when I add them, I'll get negative 3. So one will have to be positive, one will have to be negative. So I can think of y minus 5 and y plus 2, because negative 5 times positive 2 is negative 10. And then a negative 5, if you add to it, you get negative 3. So y is either 5 or negative 2. Okay, and then now we have to find x. So what we do to find x is we set these two pieces equal to each other. So we have 6x plus 12 is equal to 2x plus 60. So take away 2x, so you get 4x, and then take away 12 from 60 is equal to 48. So we get x is 12. And then now AC, okay? Basically what I'm going to do to find the length of AC is I'm going to add together both pieces and then plug in both the positive 5 and the negative 2 and see what we get. So we have y squared plus 3y plus 6y plus 10. So it's y squared plus 9y plus 10. So we have 5 squared plus 45, because 9 times 5 is 45. So we have 25 plus 45 plus 10. The 25 and the 45, that's going to be 70 plus 10, so we have 80. Or, okay, and now we'll plug in the negative 2. So we'll have negative 2 squared minus 18 plus 10. So negative 2 squared is negative 2 times negative 2, so that's 4 minus 18 plus 10. And that would give you negative 4, but since that's not a valid solution, we would not use it, okay? So AC could only be the 80. Okay, It says if points N, M, and P are collinear, and N is between M and P, and then we have all the little things they tell us here, find the value of X. So we have our picture, N, M, and P are collinear, and N is in the between them. So Mn is this 5x minus 13. Np is 3 times 3x minus 5. And then the whole thing is 7x plus 21. So we have to add the two pieces together and it's equal to the whole thing. So first thing I'm going to do is actually distribute here. So you get 9x minus 15. So you have 5x minus 13 plus 9x minus 15. So 9 plus 5, that's 14x. And then a negative 13 and a negative 15, that's negative 28. And this is equal to 7x plus 21. Okay, so take away 7x, add 28. So you get 7x is equal to 49. So x is 7. Okay. Next thing, it says I is the midpoint of BG. So here's B, G, and I is in the middle, so those two pieces are equal. So BG, the whole thing, is 10x minus 12, and BI is 3x plus 4. So you have to do 2 times BI, and that's equal to BG. 2 times half of it is equal to the whole thing. So 2 times 3x plus 4 is equal to 10x minus 12. So 6x plus 8 is equal to 10x minus 12. Take away 6x from both sides, so you get 4x, okay? And then I'm going to move this negative 12 over here, and so we get 12 plus 8, and that's 20. So 4x is 20, so x is 5. So that's one part of it. And then now we need to find IG. Well, BI is equal to IG because of the whole midpoint thing. So if we find BI, then we find IG. So BI is 3 times 5 plus 4. So 15 plus 4, 19. Okay. It says BY is the median, and GB is 7x plus 12, and YG is 10x minus 3. And then it says the angle ABG is 14x plus 6. Find the measure of angle ABG. Okay, we don't know anything about angle ABG, so we have to find x in order to find it. But in order to find x, we have to find this relationship between GB and YG. Remember, GB is twice the length of YG. So basically take YG, multiply it by 2. So 2 times 10x minus 3. And that's equal to GB, 7x plus 12. So multiply in here, so 20x minus 6 is equal to 7x plus 12. Okay, take away 7x, add 6. Okay, and so when we do that, we get our 13x is equal to 18. And so divide by 13, so we get kind of a weird number. So we have 18 divided by 13, which comes out to 1.38 something. I'm just going to round this for simplicity's sake to be x is 1.4. Okay. Again, there's not going to be anything quite like this on the test. Like, you'll have nice numbers. So x is 1.4. Okay, now to find the measure of angle ABG, we just plug in. Angle ABG is equal to 14 times 1.4 plus 6. So So 1.4 times 14 plus 6. So we get 25.6 degrees. Okay, last few. It says DO is an altitude. Okay, so that means it makes a right angle. OE is 7x plus 12. EF is this 10x minus 3. And the measure of angle DOF, so it's this angle, is 14x plus 6. So you have to find EF and OE. Okay, since we know it's an altitude, we know it makes a right angle, and they're telling us to find the measure of that angle, because once we know, we can use DOF to find x, and once we know x, we just plug it in, and we have the lengths we need. So 14x plus 6, that's going to be equal to 90. Okay, take away 6. So 14x is 84. And so once you take 86 and you divide it by 4, you get, or I'm sorry, 84 and you divide it by 14, you get 6. So x is 6. And then now to find EF and OE, we just plug in. So EF is 10 times 6 minus 3. So EF is 57, because 60 minus 3 is 57. And now OE, do the same thing. 7 times 6 plus 12. So you have 7 times 6, which is 42. Add 12 to that, and you get 54. And that's OE. And there we go. All right, last two. It says if the measure of angle JKL, so that's the whole big thing, is equal to 150, what is the value of x? Well, to find the whole big thing, you take the two small pieces and add them. So 2x and 4x, that is 6x. 8 plus 4, that's 12. And this is supposed to be equal to 150. So take away 12. So 6x is 138. And so we get x is 23. Okay, next, the last one, we need to factor r squared minus 5r minus 24. So r squared minus 5r minus 24 is equal to 0. And so now we need to think of two numbers that when we multiply them, we get negative 24, but then when we add them, we get negative 5. So I can think of negative 8 and positive 3. If I do negative 8 times positive 3, I get negative 24. But then when I add them, I get negative 5, which is what we need. So we have r minus 8 and r plus 3. So r is either 8 or negative 3. And you can check this by actually multiplying these back together. So r times r, that's r squared. Negative 8 times r is negative 8r. Negative 8 times positive 3 is negative 24. And then you have to do the 3 times this r, so that's plus 3r. And then you add them, negative 8 plus 3, that's negative 5. So the minus 24, and the r squared. So we get back out what we should. All right, guys, so that's it. So good job getting through the review, and you should be prepared for the final. So good luck.